Hi, this is Rich Moyer. I want to just show you how to add a new message, an autoresponder message to an existing campaign. So you've created your lists. All right, you have your list created here, and on mine it's going to be MyIMPartners, and then down here I've created campaigns, and I'm going to look at all the campaigns, and you're going to see that they're all autoresponders. Well, it's the same. I'm going to use the same thing. A campaign name is just so you can differentiate it in a list here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new campaign, and I'm going to call this. And to help me make sure on the list what I'm looking for here. Autopilot commissions. Okay, and the list. That's just so I can differentiate it in that listing we just saw. I'm going to choose that list that I've already created. I don't need to have a group, don't need to have a segment, don't need to have a send group. The next thing I'm going to do is click Save and Next. And that's going to bring me over here, and it's just going to look at the confirmation of this stuff right here. And the subject we're going to use here is the same. I'm going to call it IMPartners, my IMPartners newsletter. I like to lead off with that because people tend to delete messages that they don't recognize. And if you put that on there, and that's going to be familiar to them, that'll be something that they can recognize. All right, so that's the subject line I'm adding. All right, and is it going to be a plain text email? No. I always make that no. It's always going to be, I want to use bold and italics and indents and things like that. I don't need to put anything in the campaign tracking options. I don't need anything in the A/B test. And I don't want to add a subject line because I've just created that subject line. Okay, so now I'm going to go Save and Next. That's going to bring me through to where I can enter my information. So I'm just going to paste something in. I just copied something and I'm copy that in here, and I will have to edit this content naturally. But just to show you, I have a template made up here that actually a macro that I use. And that's going to put my information here. All this stuff here I want centered. Put my picture in here. I have one stored. Then I like to keep this address information separate, so I'm just going to put a horizontal bar. And all this information, this is really important to have this here because I've had people, if they don't want to receive the messages anymore, they just report it as spam. Well, it's not spam. They've actually signed up with their email address. They've verified their email address because I use double opt-in. So it's not spam, but one thing they aren't aware of is if they make excessive spam reports, it's going to affect how the systems will deliver email to them. They're going to get thrown into a spam bucket right away if they're consistently making spam reports on things, because it could throw a flag that it's a denial of service issue. So you got to warn people that they don't want to be making spam reports all the time. Just unsubscribe if you don't want to receive anymore. And I give them a link to unsubscribe. These two fields right here are required in every in every email that you sent from the autoresponder. Okay, and I always put a copyright message out there, just to give a point of identification. All right, next thing I have to do is save and next. All right, and that's going to bring me down and go through the daily sending window. Now, what I want to do here is, this is important. You have to change this. The event you're going to put in there is after campaign sent. And so I want this the next day after the last message was sent. And I want to choose that message. So that's this one right here. So that one is, I've chosen the last one that I previously sent, and I give more detail here, like you're going to see more information here. But you make sure you just put it after the last one you sent. Now that comes down here, and everything here you can ignore. It's just the status, save changes, and exit. And you have to make sure that you activate it. If you don't activate it, your end users will not get it. It'll sit out there as an autoresponder message, but it won't be sent. So you have to make sure you activate it. All right, and then it's going to show up here. All right, so here's autopilot commissions. So that's the important part of this, is you have to be able to identify what these things are, so you know. Now I'm going to go through and change all these. Change these three. I didn't put the subject line in there, and I should have. But just to let you know, this is the way you add additional messages to an existing campaign or an existing autoresponder list. So it's Rich Moyer, and you'll be seeing more of these. These are pretty much a standard video format that I'll be using. Dave Mosher is coming up with some different things. Dave has just issued quick start instructions, which are very good. They put things through here. I'm going to give you a little more a narrative here to explain why I do things a certain way. Thanks again, and check my YouTube channel. YouTube channel is youtube.com /@Richard Moyer 1953. Thanks again.